Hey guys, Bruce here. Well, we got a little 196cc power washer made by Karcher, but they just buy the components from other manufacturers and then put them together. I think this is a Honda clone, probably like a Predator engine or something like that. They're good engines. And I think it's a general pump. Don't quote me on that, because all it's there to identify it is that 150110. The owner says it just quit. So I thought it might have a low oil shutdown, because these do have a low oil shutdown. But I checked the oil and it's good. And if you can see, I'm sorry to be moving around like a crazy person. See, I've got my spark I've got my spark indicator on there, and we will just pull the rope, hopefully without wrecking anything, and you should see a spark. Okay, well, hopefully you saw that. So that's where we're at. We got good compression, really good compression. So now the next thing is to prime it with a little bit of fuel, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Okay, being as that it was running yesterday, I have not checked the fuel, but we'll just do a dip and see what it looks like. Well, it's great. It's even got a little stabilizer in it. So that's cool. So I'm going to squirt a little bit of Go Juice down there. And just plug this thing is filthy. That could be part of the problem, but I'm just going to stuff this rag in here for a minute and blow off some of this dirt. You guys know how I hate dirt. Okay. Are we rolling? Keep those cameras rolling. Okay, we're going to squirt a little bit of what I call Go Juice. This is my primer mix. It's not oil. It's gasoline, mostly gasoline and a little bit of oil. And it should go pop if we connect up the spark plug. Whew. Nothing. So we got a little work to do. Okay guys, so now I'm going to just bleed off a little bit of gas out of the carburetor. It should have a secondary, yes it does. I don't like that. Got all these little trays and gumbies for a reason, right? Okay, here we go. I'm just going to drain off some of this see if there's any water in the carburetor. Okay, looks good to me. Even though it's dirty on the outside, this machine's been maintained. So what I did was I just took that bolt off on the side there. That's the gas bleed. Every Honda or Honda clone, most of them have that. So now I'm just going to turn you off and I'm going to think about this. Alright, now I'm going to do two things. I'm going to take out the spark plug. These are long plugs. Oh, it's totally flooded. So now I'm going to just pull this engine over a little bit. Should be easier to do now. that's interesting. Did you get sprayed in the face? It's wet. Wet, 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 wet. That was probably me shoving gas down its throat, eh? Alright guys, we got the new plug in. Let's just check that now. You hear that little pop? I think something's happened to the intake valves. We'll find out. Alright, I'm just going to take the spark plug back out, this brand new plug. Then we can turn the engine over a little easier. And I'm just going to feel compression here with my finger. Well, there is compression there. But it's not, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like there's enough suction. Well, I'm going to pump it up and we're going to work on the valves. I'm just going to have a look at them. I'll be right back when we get to that point. Okay, dudes, we're going to have a look at the valve. They tidy it up a little bit. I don't like losing control. Okay, let's get this little cover off here. This is an 8mm stud. I'll leave it in there, I guess. Come on. Oh, I have to just tap it ever so slightly. There, I felt it. Oh yes, there's the breather tube. Forgot about the breather tube. Okay, it should come off now. Aha! It's the exhaust valve. Oh my gosh, it's got a broken rocker arm. Okay. Well, that's too bad. Oh, there's the push rod, the junk. God knows what's falling back down in there, huh? Okay. Well, I've been saving a little 7-horse Honda motor just for this exact reason. Oh, that's too bad. So let's just pull it over now. So it needs a whole new head. I don't know. I have to think about this, guys. So this push rod goes in there like that. This valve, rocker arm, goes up and down like that and opens and closes that valve. You see that? But the bridge or the rocker arm retainer is snapped right off. Look at that. So it means we need a new head on a worn Honda clone motor, which means it's a Chinese motor, right? I don't think it's worth it. All right, guys, I think this is our solution. This is a barely used Honda GC 190. It's about 7 horsepower, if you want to gauge it that way. They don't do it that anymore. And I took it off of a broken pressure washer last year. I serviced it when I took it off. I serviced November 21, 2016, right? And the pump had frozen and split all over the place. I don't think I did a video on that one. And I think it's going to be just perfect, because this is but it's exactly the same size. Isn't that freaky? I thought it was a 166, but I didn't read it right. It's a 196. So I'm just going to phone the owner and tell him the sad story, and we'll carry on. Alright guys, I've just clamped the motor down to my little chair that I use for everything. And this one has a fuel pump in it. So we'll just turn it on, choke it. I put some gas in it. I did pull it, but I did with the key off. I pulled it a couple of times. So it should go. Whoa! It's a go.